And then this shot here, Bryant Goldstone has both motors out of both cars.
I feel like these guys are used to this game of sliding it in. They know that car in and out. So
Yeah.
even though they've had to make some changes on the Javelin, they're so damn consistent. That's a tough team. And the new car, I think we all want to see the new car. Hopefully, they can get that together and bring that and give that a shot, maybe in testing and see if it works. But
yeah. Welcome to episode 122 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, presented by Summit Racing. Tonight, we're going to bring in Mr. Mike Galimi, the man with the plan. Dude,
I don't know about a plan, winging it maybe.
No. Now we know listen, if y'all don't know, Mike Galimi's he's kind of cool, especially as we lead into this next week, dude. I appreciate you taking the time tonight, just right out of the gate. I know you guys are probably hours of phone calls these days leading up to Drag Week. So if folks don't know, kind of give them just a brief overview of what you do, and we'll get into this.
I am the network director for Hot Rod Network, which includes Hot Rod Magazine, all of the events, website, social, and just about everything that revolves around the brand. They call it network director, but in the old days it would have been just editorial director. We're getting ready for Drag Week next week. It's been busy. I always say it, I've got the easy part at this point. I just show up. It's the event team that's kind of scrambling a little bit to make sure everything's perfect. But yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I know what we go through with the circuit, and those last few days, there's so many people emailing and messaging you and texting you. Somehow they find your phone number and call you and all that kind of stuff. Going to be a huge one, man. Like 20th anniversary, I guess we would call it. Last year was like 20th running. Listen, it's going to be a big deal. I want people to understand this is a big one.
Yeah, no, it should be good. It's 20 years of Drag Week. 2005 was the start of it, and if you're in the event business, you push those anniversaries a little bit. So the 20th running was last year, and this is 20 years this year. So it's always a joke everywhere I've ever worked. It's always been like, oh, the 5th anniversary or the 10th anniversary, and it's like, how's that math work? But it should be a good one. I think we're in a great area. I think the tracks are going to be really, really, really good for the racers. A couple of new ones that we haven't hit before, which I always enjoy mixing it up and adding into it. It should be good. The weather is looking favorable.
Man, I'm looking at it right now. How about 79 is the highest of the week, and then 50s and 60s at night.
Yeah, I always feel like though, the last few years at least, we've had these low highs going into it, but it always ends up being 90 at some point.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes, and that's just at Rising Sun, which I think is Cecil County or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure the whole area will be around that area, around that temp. I want to talk about racers first because there's some hitters coming, and the first one up, Mr. Ned Dunphy here, dude. This car, quickest day one pass and quickest day two pass, I think, in Drag Week history, and then sadly couldn't make it after that.
Yeah, I'd have to look back. You might be right that it was the quickest opening days. Lutz in, what was it, 2016 was when he set the record, and I have to go back and look at those numbers. But
people have gone faster, but not early in the week. Now we just got to get this guy to finish.
Yeah, and that's Ned and I chatted for a little bit. Over the last few weeks, we just had a story hit on HotRod.com on him. He's been working really hard on that drivability side of it, cooling capacity. And you can see he's got those, small little radiators in the front, but he's increased cooling capacity. They've worked on, keeping oil temperature under control, which, the Valtrain absolutely hates. If you remember last year, he snapped the camshaft. So they've been working on a lot of little things for that drivability side, and it just shows, right? It's so easy to make power, get it to live for the week. And that's always been the challenge.
Well, and I think that's what's great about Drag and Drive. Like the work I do with Pro Mods, those guys are worried about 660 feet at a time. They don't even drive it to the lanes, nothing, right? These guys are 1,000 miles, what are we, nearly 700 miles this year, 660 or something like that. It's going to be crazy, dude. And this car is like that next level. It's weird to see that next generation of car coming. There's so many cars that are really, really, really fast.
It's he has the motivation and the passion for it. It's good to see, but it also shows that even we're 20 years or 21 years into this, and you're still figuring it out, right? There's still some question marks. I know even today, with combinations that so many people have had, it's in small block stuff. It's just kind of a question mark on cam profiles and springs and just a lot of little things, and that's still the fun that I enjoy about the drag and drive stuff is we're still figuring it out. There's still stuff to learn and to grow into.
Well, and just how much that's helped regular racers, like to get a car to live on the street like we do, and then also, be fast. So yeah, it's huge, man. I love it. Love it. So yeah, Ned Dunphy coming. You saw him in there making comments. Thanks for the love. Yeah, the article was great, man. I don't remember the author on it, but looked.
Andrew Wolf.
Yeah. Dude does a great job.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent writer.
And then next up, sorry. I thought the shot here on the right was pretty awesome when he got it, and then in the state it's in now, it's pretty crazy to think that car is going that far.
Attention racers and high performance enthusiasts, are you ready to start your next engine build? If so, there is no better time than right now to check out Mahle Motorsports all-in-one Power Pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips, all designed to work together. Visit MahleMotorsports.com for more details. And for all of our podcast listeners, Mahle is spelled Mahle.
And then this shot here, Bryant Goldstone has both motors out of both cars. And this was shot, from what I understand earlier today, talking to Jeff and then Brian Robbins just 2 nights ago.
I feel like these guys are used to this game of sliding it in. I saw the same post earlier just before I signed on here. They know that car in and out. So even though they've had to make some changes on the Javelin, I feel like they're so damn consistent. That's a tough team. And the new car, I think we all want to see the new car. Hopefully, they can get that together and bring that and give that a shot, maybe in testing and see if it works. But
yeah, I would love that. They did some testing with it at Martin with the Midwest Drag Race Series, and the second full pass, like the first pass, he couldn't get the bump right. Second pass, he went out about 100 feet. But the third pass, he really left with great intentions and would go 4 to the 60, which was just a hair off of his PB in the Javelin ever. And it was his second full throttle time to leave the lines. Pretty crazy. That car's going to be very, very, very fast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's lighter, better car. I mean, there's two extremely sharp people who run it at the races. They got a great group behind them back home. Yeah. They'll be a force to beat with that car when it's finished.
I'm ready to see it. And it just it being there and driving it, they drove it to the lanes each time, drove it back to the pits each time, all that kind of stuff. So
it's a street car, man.
Yeah, right. Got a license plate on it, man. They didn't race. We were trying to talk them into racing Top Sportsman, but they had an oiling issue. I think that's probably why the motor's out now. Just trying to get it fixed. Man, I was really looking forward to some street car action going on there up against some real deal Top Sportsman cars and see all that stuff.
Right, Larson at a national event, right? Remember when he won Top Sportsman and he drove the car there?
Yep. Yeah, dude, it's so cool, man. There's nothing cooler than that. That is for sure. Who else do I have in here? Eric, what else we got? Oh, speaking of, yeah. So this shirt just was posted today or yesterday, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because we've heard rumors about him being here. We hope he is. Fingers crossed. I think it'd be awesome to have him back in the S10. But I thought the shirt drop was a pretty interesting timing as we lead into right up to Drag Week, and it's got the S10 and the of course Drag Week, historical Drag Week Nova in it and things like that. So I hope we see that guy there.
Oh, it would be great. I know we had that great interview with him this past winter, and he has that Vizsner engine. I don't know. I mean, unless he snuck out and went testing when nobody knew, someone somewhere would have heard of him testing, because he was pretty adamant that he wanted to make laps in the car, but also drive it quite a bit and then take the engine apart, make sure everything was fine and put it back together. It's always fun to see Larry, whether it's at a bar at PRI show late at night or, at the drag strip. So anytime we get to see Larry, it's always a bonus.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Larry, come on, buddy. We're ready for you. Well, let's talk about let's talk about routes and all that kind of cool stuff. 20th anniversary. The routes look great. It is a little shorter this year, but I want people to understand, like, we did this with Midwest Drags earlier, and you can be in traffic for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe but it's probably a lot of time in the car.
I think when you look at, the area of the country combined with, the style of roads also, it's not flat plain roads where you're just 20 miles straight. There's going to be a lot of turning. There's going to be a lot of driving. There's, like you said, there's going to be traffic around those areas. Time-wise, in a little bit different drive, yeah, I think it's going to be good. It's going to prove you have a street car. Have there been longer? Absolutely. but I don't think it being shorter than some other years is going to diminish the quality of the drive.
No, I agree 100%. There's going to be a lot of really cool sites on there too, I would think.
Yeah, there's yeah, I mean, people were texting instantly when I dropped it of, oh, check out this place, check out that place. We thought we had a good little legendary cheesesteak place that my friend Bill Toomas had suggested, but it turns out it's closed on Tuesday when we'll be driving by. So I know I was going to bum myself. But yeah, no, I think we've got some really good stops. And there's people, I think we had a lot of response, but I also on the Facebook page, I do see a lot of people offering shops and space, more so than I think in years past.
Yeah, I think that's definitely growing.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about the route stops. So what route stops do you guys have planned?
First one is actually like an IMSA racing / supercar place. Pretty cool, large area for people to pull into, be easy. They'll give some shop tours. I think they're more about selling cars right now than building stuff. So a little bit different audience. I think it'll be good to see the two groups mix.
Yeah.
That'll be the first one on the first day. Then we'll finish off on a diner. And from what my buddy Bill had said, who he lives in the area, he'll be competing this year for the first time ever. And he said that the diner's a vibe and it's super cool, open 24 hours. So if you get in there late, get a bite to eat, get a cup of coffee, take a break. You don't have to rush to be like, oh, I want to get a sandwich before we get back on the road. So I think that's a pretty good one. I'm trying to think what else. I know the last one is a barbecue location that supposedly has phenomenal barbecue. In fact, I think someone just bragged about it today on how good it is. That'll be the final stop on Thursday. I'm trying to think what else we had.
Like
there's a train museum. Area. Yeah. Train museum, Eastwood Company. They were, again, easy place, get in, get out, highly visible. We kind of look at that as you have a swarm of cars. Let's make sure we can do it safely.
Yeah. How do you run 350 cars through the parking lot?
Yeah. No, that's I know. The ice cream place last year was great to get ice cream, but it was a little crowded.
Yep. And it looks like we got American Speed Center of York.
Yes. Interesting story. So the owner, 18 years old back in the day, and didn't want to go to college, didn't really have any job prospects, and sees an ad in Hot Rod Magazine for a franchise for this speed shop. And whatever it is, 40 years or 35 years later, he's still operating it and doing well. And he's super excited for us to come through.
That's pretty cool.
Looks like we got an air museum as well.
Yep.
And then
again, trying to mix it up, trying to see some different things, not the same old, just a parts manufacturer, or try and have a variety for folks to enjoy.
And then obviously finishing with the barbecue restaurant. So
totally looking forward to that.
Yeah, man. What any idea on what style of barbecue it is? Like, is it like Memphis, Kansas City? Is this like a Maryland style barbecue?
I should have expected this. Look, I'm a guy from New York. To me, barbecue's barbecue.
Fair enough. Well, I grew up like an hour north of Memphis, and now I live 3 hours south of Kansas City. So it's like
it's Memphis style.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. Red Hot and Blue barbecue restaurant specializes in Memphis style barbecue, ribs, pulled pork, turkey, all that good stuff. So
I'm in. like being home away from home.
There you go.
It beats the monster and beef jerky that Kevin Diassi and I live on all week long.
Right.
Yeah, man, I'm not looking forward to that again. The gas station food and 4 hours of sleep a night. Yeah, bring it on if we got to do. That's the way it is. Well, dude, what are you most excited about?
Just seeing everybody. And I say this all the time, right? You do this long enough, especially what the three of us do, and getting together with your friends. That's the big part, I think, for me, is everybody having a good time. Safe racing. And the racing will take care of itself, right? And people know what to expect from that, and it's a really good program. But it's just getting to spend quality time with friends, meeting new people, seeing acquaintances, and getting closer to them. That's always fun, right? Let's see what you built. Let's see what you've been working on. And coming together is just it's the people, man.
Right. And I think one of the cool things about like Drag Week, especially, is there's folks that have been doing this forever in the same car. Steve Eden comes to mind, like 17 events they've done in that Nova. That's pretty cool. Ian Hogshead and Tom Hogshead in their Nova. I don't know why Nova's driving my brain right now, but who's the guy in the stick shift Fox body?
Jeff Sias?
No, he's won a ton.
Kurt
Johnson.
Yes. No, he didn't. No, Kurt. Yes.
No,
Does he have a
Steve
stick?
Johnson, Steve Johnson, Kurt Johnson. I don't know. With the Flames, I thought it was a stick shift car.
Okay. Yeah, that car. Yeah. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. But yeah, guys that have been doing this for a long time, like a lot longer than I have, obviously. But to see those historic cars that have done it a bunch and just the stories that those guys have, man, it just makes me want to wear around a microphone all day and just record that stuff. Because a lot of times those guys won't get on camera, but you can get a couple beers in the parking lot and suddenly everybody wants to talk.
Yeah, and you've got these big groups, right? Like Frank Romano and all his
Mhm.
guys, Glenn Hunter, and seeing the groups, right? And it's just like you're out with your boys, having fun with your cars, and that's always a good time. And being so close to home, I've got a bunch of my friends from New York, New Jersey, coming down bringing cars, so it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Who did you mention that was coming for the first time doing their first event?
Oh, Bill Toomis. Bill Toomis.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know Bill. He
Mhm.
worked at a Mustang parts company for many, many years. He's over at turned 14 right now.
Okay.
Longtime Mustang guy. If you're into Mustangs and on YouTube, then odds are you know who Bill is. Great guy. I just saw him at Woodward last month, which is always good. He's super excited. Lives in the Harrisburg area.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's always exciting to get to see people come in, do their first event, and watch them get hooked after that.
He says it's just always wanted to experience it, and this will be the year. And it's just like, I know that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, this will be your first year, friend.
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing that's great about Drag Week is you guys have always moved it. It's always been somewhere different. There's not, it's not a set 4 tracks that you run around on all the time. Now that's great in that sense for those events, but I like that Drag Week moves around. We'd love to see you guys towards Route 66 in 2026. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I enjoy looking at I keep all the records for everything. So we list the tracks, we track everything, and I like putting a new track on that track list that we maintain. To me that's fun. I think the racers do enjoy that as well. Just explore new facilities. This year we have 2 new ones to our schedule, but like I've never been to New Media. This will be the first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing that place. I've heard about it for many years from a lot of Division 1 racers. So looking forward to getting out there. Maple Grove, such an incredible track, and for us to be able to go there, especially right after the national event, they're working hard to get a place cleaned up and ready for us, which is cool.
Yeah. Gonna be Tim Gorley's first Drag Week, which is cool. That's
awesome.
Gonna be my co-pilot and the photographer for the week. He's Go Fast Photography is his company. I'm sad Eric's got to stay at home, but man, if I got to have a co-pilot, Tim's going to be a good one.
Yeah. No, you live with this person for a whole week, man. And it's it changes people.
Yeah, 4,500 miles. We were figuring it up that him and I are going to cover together.
Wow.
in 9 days.
Wow.
You start looking, you're like, damn.
I would think over the last 3 years that I've been with this with Hot Rod, I would think Kevin Diassi and I have to be the miles we have logged. I don't know if you guys have met Kevin, but he does a lot of our photography work. He's kind of like the new Wes Allison. Wes is retired. Yeah, we've put some miles on with each other. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
Derek Putnam just messaged me. Stephen Willingham was the car I'm thinking of, but Kurt Johnson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Won all the stuff. Yeah. Stephen Winningham's the car I'm thinking of, but Kurt Johnson won his class 10 times. I think he's the winningest drag week racer or something like that.
Oh, and A&D Hot Rod Shop, these guys are great. He and his wife, we do Power Tour with them, and they help us out with quite a bit of stuff on the planning and organizing side, especially with the routes and the maps and Google and all that. They're experts on it. Looking forward to seeing them out there and their first drag week.
Yeah,
Power Tour converts.
Bring it on. I think we've talked about that. Maybe last time you were on the show was the conversation of can we get a small drag and drive within Power Tour? If you're going to be hitting some drag strips, could we work that in? Just a 3 day.
It's I'd love to do that at some point.
It's just too. I can't imagine trying to wrangle 6,000 people.
Think about it with 8,000.
No way, dude.
Yeah, and not everybody takes advantage of the opportunity to race on the track is included in your price tag. But I think we had probably upwards of 300 cars. At Route 66, which is our biggest single day ever with Power Tour. We get a good amount, but a lot of them are just more of a test and tune style. Yeah,
it's just open for when folks want to go. And for a lot of it, it's for a lot of those guys and girls, it's just the simple fact of making a pass at a track that you've never been to. I think that's what I love about drag and drives. It gives me a reason to go somewhere I would never decide I'm going to go on a Thursday. I'm not going to go, hey, let's drive to Maryland and go drive around to some tracks and go home. So,
yeah, I think that's what we're trying to do is have that experience of meet, new folks, new tracks, see new parts of the country.
Yeah.
There are parts of the country that that we've driven through between Power Tour and this that you just in a normal life you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. At all. Yeah, if I'm going somewhere on vacation, I'm on the interstate at 87 miles an hour. Like I'm not on a back road at 57 miles an hour for 3 hours. I love it. That's what I love about it. Just big shout out to Steven here saying it'll be his first, and his mom's going to be his co-pilot. That'd be cool. Big shout out to my mom. If she wants to come on one, come on, let's go, lady. I'm ready. And then first drag week, great father and son trip. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you.
We see those stories so often, and it's so good, right? So many first timers. It's great to see.
Yep. I think that's one cool thing about what really truly has been built with this entire community is that, man, everybody is welcomed. And then it's also at the same time, like everything is open. Like nobody's in your way. Nobody's getting mad at you for being in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It's like, come on, let's all go.
For sure.
All right. Well, sir, I'll see you in a couple days, dude.
I know. Doesn't seem like it. I got a lot to do between now and then, but yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys. Well, sorry, Eric, we'll catch you at the next one.
For sure.
Safe travels to everyone, and we'll see everyone at Maryland International Raceway on Sunday.
Man, it's so crazy. Yeah, we've got a 20-hour drive starting Saturday morning as early as we can from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Me and Tim going to be hauling them up. We may stop at Mo Party on the way through, actually. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm pulling out on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Picking up KJ, one of our staffers. His mom lives near me. We KJ and I grew up near each other.
Oh,
so he's out here visiting his mom, and so I'm going to grab him, stop at an Italian deli on the way, grab a couple of good bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, a bunch of good, the Godfather Hero, which is legendary. Grab a bunch of those, and then just, I don't know, Maple Grove is on the way to MIR, so I think we might pop into the national event, get a little bit of nitro, and then just keep going.
Oh, man, dude, so cool. So cool. All right, Mike, thanks a bunch, buddy. We appreciate you coming on here.
Look forward to seeing everyone. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Dude, how cool is that?
It's always cool.
Network director of Hot Rods on here talking to us about Drag Week, man. It's pretty awesome.
I agree.
Well, listen, just want to say thanks to Molly Motorsports for their work here with us, and then Molly Motorsports Power Pack piston kits take out all the guesswork. No more trying to determine if a piston will need this ring to work with a certain cylinder size. Molly Motorsports did all of the engineering so you can get to the part that matters. Building a power plant that leads to Victory Lane Flower Plant. Flower plant? I think that's what I said. Visit mollymotorsport.com for more details. Molly spelled M-A-H-L-E. So, guys, listen, thank you for being our race car friends. Thank you for being here. Hit the share button, please. If you're not following us here, you need to be doing that. Wherever you're watching this, hit the follow button. But then hit that share button. Let everybody know you're watching this tonight. We're going to get a ton of fun stuff. And thank you so much to our sponsors. Oh, man, this doesn't have AFCO Racing products on it. What the heck? How did I miss that? Anyways. Thank you so much to everybody that makes this possible, that makes the trip to Drag Week next week possible. So, guys, if you're doing some shopping, hit these guys up. Summit Racing, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, who we're going to get to hang out with, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. If you are shopping, please hit those guys up and see if they got something that would work for you.